So a little while back, I did a review on an optic called the Zerohawk EM1, and a lot of people were quite impressed with that red dot. Not only was it very affordable, but it came with a lot of nice accessories in the box, and the optic proved to be very rugged and reliable. But there was one big complaint everyone had with that optic, and that was the fact that they did not have a green dot version. Well, Zerohawk listened to all your complaints, and they came out with the EM1 6 MOA green dot. So let's check it out. We're over on the other bench, and we're going to go over all the specs and features of our Zerohawk EM1 green dot. Now I'm going to bring a picture up on the screen and show you everything that comes in the box, and you can pause it and check it out. Now when I did the review on the red dot version of this optic, I was quite impressed with everything that comes in the box. It comes with two adapter plates. One's an RMR to RMSC adapter plate, and you also have the Glock MOS to RMSC adapter plate. And it comes with a really nice assortment of screws. And even the tool that they ship this with is impressive. It's got everything all in one tool to do everything you need to do on this optic. Now let's go over the dimensions of this optic. This has got an overall length of 1.61 inches. It's 1.05 inches wide, and it's 1 inch tall. And this optic is very light. It only weighs 1.17 ounces. And this is constructed out of 7075 T6 aluminum, and that gives this an IP67 waterproof rating. And this optic is shockproof up to 5,000 Gs. Now this is not multi-reticle. It does have a 6 MOA green dot. And I've got it up on the brightest setting right now, and it is nice and bright, and I'm getting very little starbursting. My astigmatism gets along a lot better with green dots than red dots. And what's super cool with this optic, it has 10 daylight settings and 2 NV. Now this does have a side load battery tray. It runs on a CR1632 battery. It does have shake awake, and it does have a 50,000 hour battery life. But that's going to be on the lowest setting. And we will check the shake awake later on in the video to make sure it works. Now being that this is an enclosed emitter dot with the RMSC footprint, it's got a decent sized window on it. The window on this is 0.59 inches tall by 0.83 inches wide. It's definitely not one of the biggest windows for an RMSC footprint dot, but being that this is a 6 MOA green dot, a lot of people are going to be using this on their carry gun. Now, when you want to adjust your brightness level, you got your plus button here and your minus button here. And they are very tactile and audible clicks when you push the buttons. Another nice touch on this optic is it does have a backup iron sight built in. And the deck height on this is extremely low, so you should have no issues using this backup iron sight with the front sight on your pistol if the optic goes down. Now one thing I like to do in every one of these optic review videos is check the windage and elevation to see how tactile and audible the clicks are. Oh, that's nice. Nice positive stops in between each click. Tactile and audible. Now let's check the elevation. Same thing. Really nice tactile audible clicks. I like it. Now each click is 1 MOA, and you have 45 MOA of total travel on the windage and on the elevation. All right, I'm going to go get this mounted up on our test gun, and I will see you out at the range. Now, the first thing I had to do when I got to the range was get this optic sighted in. It went pretty quick. It only took a few rounds. The elevation was almost dead on. I just had to adjust the windage to the left a little bit. Now, the gun I chose to put this optic on is my Smith & Wesson M&P 22 Magnum. I just picked up the Smith & Wesson 22X, and I've been enjoying shooting that gun so much, so I thought, why not get the 22 Magnum out and bring it to the range to test this optic. This gun is incredibly fun to shoot. It has very little recoil, and it throws some pretty awesome fireballs. Now, the first thing I noticed with this optic, just like the red dot that I reviewed, was the glass is nice and clear. And outdoors at the range, the 6MOA Green Dot is super bright, and I'm getting very little starbursting, which is always the case with me when it comes to green dots. That's why I prefer green over the red. Now, after I got the optic zeroed in, I shot about 60 rounds through this gun just to get a feel for the gun again and a feel for this optic on the gun. And then I wanted to shoot some 10-shot groups. Now, I was shooting these groups at 10 yards, and they're not my best groups. Not really sure what was going on. I was doing the review on the 22X the same day, and I shot it really well. But I was getting a flyer here and there with the 22 Magnum. No fault of the optic, just a bad day shooting for me with this gun. Now, I know people that are watching this video are going to complain that the green dot version of this only comes with a 6MOA green dot. But all the shooting I was doing with this gun was at 25 yards or less, and a 6MOA dot is about perfect for that type of shooting. Now, I didn't do the tailgate test where I rapidly rack the slide with the optic on the tailgate of my truck, and that's just because, well, the 22 Magnum and the 22X M&Ps, they've got pretty lightweight slides on them, and I didn't want to take a chance of messing up the slide on my 22 Magnum. But we've already proved that this dot is super rugged because we beat the crap out of the red dot version in that review video. So, if you want to see how rugged this optic is, you can go back and watch that one. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because, well, a 6MOA dot is about perfect for what this optic is meant for. This is a small dot with the RMSC footprint, and most people that are going to use this gun are going to put it on a compact or a subcompact gun and use it for carry. And when you're under stress and pulling your gun out of that holster, it's going to be easier to get a 6MOA dot on target than, say, a 2 or 3MOA green dot. Now, some people may agree with me on that, and some people may not. The bigger dot has always just worked better for me when it comes to closer targets. Now, if you want a smaller dot, even though they don't have it available in green, they do have a 2MOA red dot version of this with a multi-reticle system. So you're going to get the 2MOA dot with the 32MOA circle. And Zerohawk also has an open emitter optic available called the EM1, and you do have the option to pick a 2MOA dot or a 6MOA dot with that optic. And another cool thing, I was just on Zerohawk's website, and the red dot version of the EM1 is now available in FDE and black. So hopefully they'll come out with an FDE version of the green dot. And what I would really like to see them do is come out with a multi-reticle version of this green dot, because I know that that would be a big seller for them. Even though I'm not a big fan of multi-reticle, a lot of people are. So I don't want to drag this video out too awfully long because, well, I've already done a very detailed review on the red dot version of this, and really the only thing that's changed, this one has a green dot. And I was already a big fan of the EM1 red dot, and I'm even a bigger fan of this EM1 green dot. So with that, I'm going to shut it down. I definitely recommend this Zerohawk green dot, just like I recommended the red dot. I have not had any issues with my red dot yet, and I'm sure I'm not going to have any issues with this green dot. And if you want to pick one of these optics up for yourself, head over to my website, go to the weekly deals section, and I've always got a link right there to Zerohawk. And who knows, there might be a discount code over there as well. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.